Hi, my name is Dylan Hong. Welcome to the channel if you're new. Today we're going to be talking about the Hiraliy F300 gaming mouse and why it is the best budget gaming mouse I've used. I bought this mouse a little bit over a year ago, and there's actually a reason that I hadn't reviewed it for until now. Essentially, I liked the mouse so much that I was wary about any drawbacks that the mouse may have had in its internals. Companies that produce gaming mice under $20, this one is $14 on Amazon right now, link in the description, have to be making cutbacks somewhere. A lot of them have really bad cables, some of them have really bad sensors, others just have cheap components that will break down over time. So I was actually really worried because of how much I liked using the mouse, how good it was. I felt like there may have or there must have been some sort of internal sensor, internal processor that was cheap, and I really waited it out to see if this mouse lasted me a year, and it has been fantastic for that year. This gaming mouse has 5 DPI options that you can customize using the software. I'll briefly mention it later, but there's nothing special there. It ranges from 1000 to 10,000 DPI. You have up to a 1000 Hz polling rate, and there are 7 programmable buttons. As you can see here, there are a bunch of different color combinations, and once again, this is controlled through software. While aesthetics are certainly subjective, I would say that I think this gaming mouse looks fantastic for being in the budget range. It's not overly tacky, it's not clearly made out of cheap materials, but it still has that gamer, fun gamer RGB vibe that I think a lot of people are going for. The cable is braided and it glides pretty smoothly. I still anchor it down at the edge of my desk, but other than that, it is a high quality cable that doesn't seem like it's fraying at all in the year that I've used it. The bottom pads on this mouse are not exceptionally high quality as expected. They're on the soft plastic side, and I can see these getting worn down with more use. However, the side buttons are really tactile and clicky and really high quality. The front top buttons are the clickable scroll wheel and then the DPI and color changing options. In terms of the scroll wheel, I think this is more of a personal preference. It's pretty smooth and gives a decent amount of resistance when you scroll it. I'd say it's pretty good. So one thing about this mouse is it's fit in my hand. That's probably the one minor complaint that I have about this. The left part of this mouse is actually pretty good. It has a nice ridge, and the way my thumb fits right below the buttons is actually really comfortable. The one thing is though, this right side of the mouse, where my pinky and my ring finger try to support the mouse and squeeze the mouse, it doesn't really indent quite enough for me to get a secure hold on that side of the mouse. Now, if you're more of a dragger and you don't really lift the mouse up very much, this probably isn't an issue for you. But for me, I do feel like sometimes I need to pay extra attention to my grip, especially if it's, I'm going sweaty and my hands are actually getting a little slippery. It can be more difficult to maintain full control of the mouse. And I know that's a really stupid and small complaint, but there is that. And one of the reasons that this actually exists is the build quality in terms of the materials used. So there are these textured parts on the side of the mouse, on both sides, that are supposed to help with grip, but I think a more high quality, more expensive mouse would have used soft rubber or some sort of actually grippy material. And so this is one point, or one place, where the budget aspect of this mouse actually does show. So that's pretty much all I have to say about the hardware. The software that comes available online, it's, like I said before, nothing special. It's essentially what you'll get with cheap mouse software. You can set up macros, you can change the lighting, you can change the DPI. Other than that, I never look at the software for my mouse. I really don't spend that much time in it. So that's all I have to say there. Using this mouse for gaming is fantastic. The sensor, while cheap, is much more accurate than I would have ever expected, to be honest. I don't experience any stutters, lags, hiccups, anything. I think I've used a lot of cheap gaming mice where the difference or the impact of it being cheap is there, but relatively negligible, right? I don't care that it's there, and it's still totally usable. This mouse, I really have never experienced an issue where I felt like I missed a shot or I did something wrong because of the quality of the sensor, and I think that's really impressive for the price range. I captured some 240 frames per second footage using my iPhone to just show in slow motion the movement of my hand compared to what it's shown on the monitor. And as you can see, even at 240 frames per second, it's really, really difficult to see any noticeable lag or latency with this mouse. And in terms of the quality and the smoothness of the inputs, it's pretty on point. I guess one downside of having so much RGB is anytime you try to take a slow motion video, it's all super apparent that everything's just refreshing at a constant rate. I can't stress enough how great of a mouse this is for $14. This is something that if it did happen to break, which there are no signs of it approaching that at any point, I could just buy another one without really thinking about it. $14 for something that essentially enables you to use your gaming computer it's nothing. Aside from minor ergonomics and then, cheaper materials, I would say this is the best budget gaming mouse you could probably get. I've tried at least 10 separate gaming mice, many of which I have not shown on this channel because they were pretty bad, but $14, this mouse is fantastic. Definitely get it. Link in the description down below. I have very, very few complaints, and they were worded in this video. So with that, my name is Dolan Hong. Like and subscribe for some more video goodness, and thanks for watching.